Alien Earth episode 7 is out, and Shane and I are going to argue about it. Welcome back to Movies Good, Internet Bad. I'm Cory, that's Shane, and this is our spoiler filled review of Alien Earth's penultimate episode. Shane, I have a feeling I know where this is going to go, but did you like this episode?
I did not, Cory. Finally, the
Wow.
commenters that are annoying us for several episodes are vindicated.
Hell yeah. I'm so excited. I like this episode, and I'm going to tell you and all of our listeners why. But before we get started, let us know what you thought in the comments. Do you agree with Shane or do you agree with me? Was this good or was it shisty? Shane, tell me why.
All right.
Ain't nothing but a
Well,
heartache. Tell me
I
why. Ain't
I
nothing but a
think
mistake. Tell me
wh-
why. I never want to hear you say, I want it that way by the Backstreet Boys. Go for it.
that is a very dedicated reference. Um, I thought that this is where we get into the big dumb ending type of territory that a lot of
Okay.
shows fall into,
Okay.
where we had this very methodical show up until now with a lot of
Hmm.
good heady thoughts and sci-fi concepts of morality, and then they just turned it into an action sequence, and it didn't look great. I felt like the budget or the direction look this one we've been talking about how this show has looked like a movie up until
Hmm.
now. This looks like a TV show for
Okay.
me. I didn't love a lot of the blocking of the characters, or they used a lot of close up wide angles. I don't know,
Hmm.
especially on Arthur. I'm not sure what the creative decision behind that was, but I felt like most of this stuff looked kind of cheesy, and I think it is because it was in daylight. Most of the
Oh,
show
okay.
has taken
Yeah. Yeah.
place
Yeah.
in dark areas, and so you
Sure.
can hide a lot of the budget and
Hmm.
the visual effects behind darkness, and that's why the
Yeah.
original Alien worked so well, because everything was dark. You
Hmm.
didn't have to have a high budget, but when you put stuff outside, it makes it a lot harder. Especially in the scene where the xenomorph had to kill all the people, and it's just in broad daylight. It's
Hmm.
that shouldn't be there.
Hey, man, we got the return of the guy in the suit. Okay,
We did.
they got their mileage out of that rubber suit throughout the course of this. Okay, anything else, or
I
is
think
it
that's
mostly
main.
just that we've shifted from something a little more intelligent to something a little more commonplace?
I just thought the aesthetic was not nearly as good. I thought some of the effects looked a little bit dumb. I think we embraced more of the cheesiness in this episode, and I didn't
Okay,
really love that direction.
okay. So here's why I thought it was great. It made me laugh a lot.
Sure.
And
Okay.
not in like a this is a slapsticky comedy type thing. It was more of like a Cohen Brothers Fargo comedy of errors type way,
Which
right?
makes sense given the showrunner.
Right. Noah Hawley
Right.
has done 5 seasons of a Fargo TV show. Obviously, the Cohen brothers are an inspiration of his. But like, eh, I was a kid at one point in my life. Some might argue that I still am based on how I behave. If I ever screwed up massively with something, the first thing I did was hide it under my bed.
Yeah.
And the just ridiculous nature of hiding a guy who has a face hugger strapped onto his face under your bed,
Sure.
I was rolling. When Kirsch said, "Boys, you're grounded," I was rolling. I thought it was hilarious. And the just the way that like Smee and Slightly, when they're trying to get the body to the beach at the right time,
Right.
and just everything that could go wrong does go wrong, and it leads to obviously an outcome that they didn't want. um it was that part of it really affected me in a humorous way. I thought it was very
Sure. It's
almost
uh
tongue-in-cheek funny.
it's Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park.
Exactly.
Except it's
Yeah.
the same concept, right? Like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm gonna get this thing off I have screwed up massively.
Right.
Yeah.
um and there were a couple other things that I thought were pretty interesting during that xenomorph attack, which I will agree with you. I didn't think that when they were focused on the xenomorph, it looked great. But there
Mhm.
was one shot where it was the back of Wendy's head that was in focus, and the xenomorph was doing his thing in the
Yeah.
background. And it was a really layered and cool textured shot because she's the one doing the controlling.
Hmm.
that xenomorph ain't thinking for itself. So having the
Hmm.
focus on her, but the carnage happening behind her, thought that was really cool. Um, I was also a very big fan of them stumbling upon the graves of the children,
Yeah.
because it brings up uh, this whole theme that's been a constant throughout the entire series of what are these hybrids? Are
Hmm.
they actually these kids? Are there actually dead bodies buried there? What was in the casket at Marcy's funeral that Joe went to before he found out about any of this stuff? Thought that was all really interesting. And then at the end of the episode, uh, when Joe tasers Nibs after she
Rips the
brutally rips that
jaw
dude's
off.
jaw, was absolutely awesome. That I thought that looked really good compared to the xenomorph attack.
I thought that thing looked fine until she did a little kick of a different character, and that looked like very blatantly bad CGI.
Okay,
I don't know if you caught that too, but like
I
it looked
didn't.
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah, it if anything, it should have just been a stunt. Um,
Sure.
but when he shoots her with the taser, it really puts into perspective that he's choosing human life over the hybrids,
Hmm.
no matter what, which is going to create a conflict between him and his sister for this final episode, because now she's going to have that lingering doubt in the
Mhm.
back of her head of, well, if I do something like that, are you going to just, zap me too? So I thought a lot of that stuff was really good. There was definitely some silliness that went on in the episode. Uh, Although we did get some vindication, because we have talked throughout the entire series about how uh, we have both wanted to adopt the sheep, and Boy Genius
Also
clearly
wants the
wants to
sheep.
adopt the sheep, except he wants to put it in a human body.
Yep.
And again, another theme of this show is maybe we shouldn't do this. Oh, we're gonna do it.
There's
And
a 100% chance that I ends up in his head.
in his
A
head.
100%
Yeah.
chance.
Yeah. So uh but yeah, those are my arguments
Sure.
for why this episode was good.
I
uh
think it just depends on whether or not that tone played for you. So if you embrace the silly and the weird, you're going to like this episode. If you thought the tone clashed with the rest of the show, you're not going to like this episode. I was kind of in that, you know, bucket, but you enjoyed it, Corey. So
yeah.
again, I don't think anything was inherently bad about it. It's just preference.
Yeah, and that's fair. And I tend to be a little bit more forgiving about the silly, because I mean, like, look at all the shit on my walls. I love comic books
Oh,
and
sure.
Star Wars and all that goofy nonsense. But I did find it interesting. This was the shortest episode of the season by
Hmm.
quite a large margin. Credits hit at like the 42-minute mark or something like that. Uh,
Hmm.
and it being the penultimate episode, we had theorized last week that this was going to be the one where everything popped off and went crazy. You would expect it to
That didn't really
be
happen.
the one that
Yeah.
has the huge budget, right? But
Yeah.
that didn't
Yeah.
happen. So, what do you think after watching this one, which kind of served as a little bit of a micro setup for the finale?
Hmm.
Where do you think? Like, what's your prediction for the end of the show?
Obviously, the eye is going into Boy Genius, and we're gonna have a Boy Genius versus Xenomorph fight. Like that has to happen, right?
Okay.
Based on what we saw on the ship, they had a little fight there, so now they're gonna have another little fight. It's Alien versus Predator, but the Predator is the the Boy Genius.
Oh man,
It's the child Predator, actually.
man, that's interesting. So, if you think that's going to happen, my next question is, how do they wrap up the subplot where the corporations have kind of been looming over the entire show? Do you think Boy Genius gets
I don't
get
think you
like
have to.
taken off the map, and then it just
Well,
becomes
he's not one of the five, right? He's like the outsider.
I think they are.
Is it?
I think
Okay.
so.
I tend to I thought that Prodigy was like this other outside of the five, wants to be one of the five. I could be completely wrong on that. Tell me in the comments if I'm wrong.
Yeah, please do.
Anyways.
But
But
either way, like the thing with Utani is going to have to get settled in some way, shape, or form.
sure, sure. And I think this is one of those like hero to villain, it's like the acolyte type of
Oh, don't
things.
say that.
That
Oh no,
I can't say it. I
we're
can't say it.
canceled.
Uh,
Shit.
but hero to villain is like a big thing in shows now. And so like Wendy starts as the hero of the show and then ends kind of as this villain uh archetype. And so that I mean that's where I'm assuming it's going, is that she's probably going to kill Joe, and or it's
Ooh,
going to create conflict or something like that.
man.
and she's gonna be the ultimate, evil at the end, and
Or
the antagonist that
maybe
persists.
her and Joe get into a heated argument, and the xenomorph kills Joe without her telling it to.
Ooh.
Huh? Huh? And
Okay.
then,
I can get it's like a defense mechanism.
yeah,
Alright.
because that's
I'm
mom,
with you.
right? Wendy's like
I'm with
the
you.
queen or the mom or whatever
Yeah.
in this situation. I made this joke in our text message thread, but she welcomed the xenomorph into her clique because she clicks at him. Click, click, clock, click, clock. I've been practicing my alien speak. Maybe next week I'll do it on camera. But um, yeah, I honestly I don't really know where they're gonna go with the finale outside of the eye thing with Jimmy Neutron,
Yeah.
which I guess I kind of like because I'd rather not know than know, right? Like
Sure. Yeah, I think there's a couple things that will very obviously happen, but in terms of actual plot, kinda up in the air.
yeah, I just hope that. Well, actually, I don't really even hope that Morrow has a happy ending. He's like
I was gonna say Morrow and Kirsch are gonna fight
kind of the
too, for
sympathetic
sure.
character, but
That
not really.
has to happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
But Kirsch, right?
Yeah, that's Timothy Olyphant's character.
Yeah, it was so funny when he walked into that lab and he was like, "I'm so shocked about what
Yeah,
happened." He watched the whole thing.
he watched it all go down.
But yeah, I loved that he is the mastermind behind it all, kind of using he was doing the opposite. He was, like, using the voice in his head as bait
Hmm.
to bring them in so
Yep.
that he could then win the fight. He was letting it happen because he knew they would send a small team
Hmm.
instead of a large team, and so that was how he won that battle. So I thought that was well played.
Yeah.
We were wondering exactly what he was scheming, and,
Hmm.
paid off.
Yeah, because they're in possession of the baby xenomorph now.
Yeah, which how do they find that thing?
That's a real
Like,
good
we
question, man.
it seemed way too easy.
Jurassic Park is a
It's like,
pretty
"Oh,
big
we"
island, and that thing ran
he was
off.
like, "Oh, you
So
failed," and then, like, "Okay, we found it anyways, there was no problem."
yeah, plot convenience.
So,
We'll just chalk it up.
yeah,
Chalk
right,
it
right.
up to that.
But, I will say that, no matter what, having a chest burster scene will never get
Nope.
old, no matter what. You know, that whole scene was great because Arthur was just being a stand-up dude. He was just helping him out,
Yep.
and the whole time, it's like perfect tension because you know
Hmm.
what's gonna happen. The whole time, is this gonna be the moment? Oh, not yet.
Yep.
Is this gonna be the yeah.
And again,
So,
we kind of poo pooed on the daylight side of things earlier, but
mhm.
to see a chest burster scene happen on a beach in broad daylight is something
Yep,
that we haven't seen before in the
it's
Alien
true.
franchise.
It's
And
true.
the way that it was filmed with the blood splattering all over the kids' faces and whatnot, it was
Yep.
is pretty well done. So, are you excited for next week, or did this one kind of tamper that excitement for you?
Tempered it slightly, but if it sticks the landing, a good finale can fix almost anything in a TV show. You kind of forget all the issues that you had with the show if it
Right.
nails the landing, right?
That is so true, man. Unbelievably true. How
Yeah, that's how I feel about Silo, both seasons. It's like starts well, the middle is not great, but then the ending is so good that like I forget about the middle. It's like we're good now.
yeah. I would argue Obi-Wan Kenobi was the same way,
Yeah,
but
stuck the
then I
landing.
still kind of think that most of that show
Is
is
bad.
pretty bad. But the finale, we all talked about it. We were like, "Oh, this was
It was
good."
good.
Yeah,
Like the finale.
episode 1 and episode 6 were really good, and then everything else in between was just kind of like, what are we doing here?" But uh
Yep.
any other thoughts on this one before we take it home?
No, I am excited for next week to finish it off.
Cool. Sounds good. Well, that's going to do it, folks, for this episode. We'd love to hear your comments below. Let us know what you thought. Did this one go off the rails? Was it more your speed? Do you agree with me or do you agree with Shane? Drop us a comment below, and whoever gets the most votes will win the friend war. For all of eternity, and we're putting that in your hands, so no pressure. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe to the channel if you have not already. We will be back next week to cover the finale, and then we are moving into big movie season. Paul Thomas Anderson's one battle after another is coming out in a couple weeks. We're very excited to review that, and then all of the other Oscar bait that will come after it. So be on the lookout for all of those things and so much more. And until next time, we'll see you guys in the next video.